Hey everybody, it's Bolsha here back, finally, with another Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous build video. Now, unlike other videos, this is going to be a build that I'm going to play for my personal playthrough. Now, I started a playthrough with like a bloodthirsty barbarian type character, and I just could not connect with the evil playthrough. So I'm doing a complete 180. This character is going to be completely focused on support and healing the party. Now, this character is about as far from a badass as you can possibly be. This is going to be the healing halfling and the super friends. I'm really excited for this playthrough. I've got a lot of fun and unique builds planned for the companions, and I'm also going to release my gameplay footage as well. So if you like this content, please subscribe, and I'll have a lot more coming very soon. All right, so just a quick little overview of the build before we go level by level. Number one, we are taking all 20 levels in the Divine Herbalist archetype of the Oracle class. Now, this is a class that gives some really strong healing abilities in exchange for revelations. And that's actually why I'm going to mod this playthrough, because extra revelation feat is not in the game. So I'm going to use Toybox, and I'm going to add feats and take them away and put revelations in their place. So if you want to follow this exactly, you do have to use a mod of some sort. All right, we are going to be starting out with the Nature Mystery, and we're going to be taking Second Mystery Life as soon as we're able to. That's going to give us access to some really cool revelations and a great bonus spell list. We're going to be having an animal companion, animal summons. We're picking up Lifelink. Lifelink allows you to, if your party members are not at full health, they will heal 5 points and you'll take 5 points of damage. So basically you become a hit point battery, and your party can leech health from you, which is great because we have a lot of abilities that allow us to heal ourselves really quickly. We also get channel, so we can channel positive energy like a cleric would, and this is going to add to our healing ability. One of the great things about this build is everything is centered around charisma. So things like channel, you're going to get bonus healing from your charisma. All of our casting stats, all of our bonus spells are charisma based. Even some of the Azata superpowers benefit from high charisma. The entire build kind of centers around the Azata Mythic Path, and specifically the life bonding friendship superpower. Now, this allows us to share all of our teamwork feats with our entire party, including summons, pets, and companions. So nobody in the party needs to select teamwork feats, only the Azotic main character, and these will be shared with everybody. You also get some bonus teamwork feats here. The other major benefit of life bonding friendship is when you choose the superpower, nobody in your party actually goes down and dies until the main character dies. So they'll go to negative health and they'll stay fighting, and as long as the main character doesn't die, they'll stay standing. Now, it says that if you take a number of hits once you're in negative health equal to the Azata's charisma bonus, so again, there's that charisma synergy, then they'll die, but I've heard that's bugged and not working. So basically, either you all die or nobody dies. And you can heal your party while they're at negative health. So pretty strong, borderline overpowered. We're also going to be taking Marvelous Endurance, which gives us some fast healing that synergizes with other things we've got going here. So all in all, this is an incredible support class. It has a ton of buffs, about as much healing as you can possibly squeeze out of a character. And we also invest pretty heavily into summons, and our summons are crazy strong with life bonding friendship, giving all of our summons teamwork feats. And we also get Friend to Animals, which gives our massive charisma bonus to saving throws for all of our animal companions, summons, and even shape-shifted companions, like if I made Lan a druid. All right, so let's take a look at the level by level. All right, so let's jump right into the build here. First of all, we are going to go all 20 levels in the Oracle Divine Herbalist class. And let's take a look at some of the details of this class and why it is so important that I'm going to be modding this playthrough. So first of all, the Divine Herbalist class is a full 9th level Divine caster. It uses Charisma as its casting stat. We're going to be pumping Charisma as high as possible. It's a spontaneous caster, so you get to choose only a couple of spells every time you level up, and those are the only spells you get to cast, so you got to make sure you pick good spells. It trades out a couple of early revelations, and these revelations are really strong. They kind of define your build, so the fact that we're trading these two at 1st level and at 7th level really hurts us. But what we get in return for that is we get this ability called Healer's Way. And this is basically lay on hands, like the Paladin ability, to heal with heal your teammates with a standard action or heal yourself with a swift action. And this scales with your Oracle level. So we get really strong heals here. And we also get at level 7, we get Master Healing Technique. And what this allows you to do is when you use your Healer's Way, which is basically your lay on hands, you get to make a free action lore nature check to remove conditions. So this is kind of like Paladin Mercies, but way better because you can remove all of these things. Paladin Mercies, you would have to choose one at a time. Here, with a lore nature check, we're going to be able to remove all of these negative conditions. Now, if you do fail your check, you have a chance of sickening your target or even nauseating them if you fail by a lot, but we're maximizing our charisma. You also get a bonus somewhere on here, the Master Herbalist trait, that allows you to add 1/2 your Oracle level to your nature checks, as well as your charisma modifier. So we're, in the middle of the game, we're just not going to be failing these checks. And every time we lay on hands, we're going to be removing all of these conditions, which is a really great buff for our team. So going back to Revelations, losing Revelations at 1st and 7th level, it really slows down the progression of the class, so much so that I'm going to mod in a feat that is normally in the regular Pathfinder game called Extra Revelation. You basically trade out a feat for Revelation, and you can do that as many times as you want. So after I get this first Revelation at 3rd level, I'm going to be taking Extra Revelation at 5th level and also at 9th level, just so I can get my build online as soon as possible. Revelations are really strong, and they also kind of shape your character. So let's see here. We also pick up with this archetype, we get to brew potions. So not only is this guy a full divine caster, but he will be my cook and my potion brewer. So all in all, the Divine Herbalist is a fantastic archetype for support, for healing. We're going to pick up a lot of things with Revelations, and also when we pick up our 2nd Revelation through the Mythic abilities that make this just an all-around amazing support for the entire party. The only drawback is, what is this helmet? I don't know. I need to get a headband on this guy as soon as possible because I just can't. I can't look at this. All right, for our race, we are going to be going halfling. It gives us dexterity, charisma. Also, I just like it for the theme that I'm going with here. The super friends, the happy-go-lucky guy. I like the halfling. We are going to go with hasty. Hasty is going to make us lose our sure-footed, which doesn't really matter. This guy is not going to be in athletics or mobility skill monkey. We also lose fearless, but that's fine. We have plenty of things that will shore up our resistance to fear. And our speed increases to 30, and we also get a +2 bonus to initiative. That is going to be great for us. For my background here, and this is also kind of just a role-playing thematic choice, I'm going to go with Nomad. It's going to give our animal companion some bonus health, and it also gives us a small bonus to our lore nature. It gets overwritten pretty quickly. I would choose whatever you want if you want to follow this build here. For stats, we're going to go 16 dexterity, 19 charisma, 12 wisdom, 12 constitution, and 13 intelligence. Our skills, we always want to make sure that we're ranking up our lore nature. And for me, I also want knowledge world because he is going to be brewing potions, and lore nature because of that healer's way ability. We want to make sure that our nature checks are as high as possible. And you can see we're already getting a +9, which is pretty solid. I think I'll also make this guy go with persuasion because he's the main character, first of all, and he also has really high charisma. So that's good synergy there. And our last point doesn't really matter. Our first feat. Now, this guy is not going to really add anything in combat himself. He's not going to be a damage dealer. So I'm going to start focusing on things that I actually want him to be good at. Number 1, summons. So I'm going to take Spell Focus Conjuration, which is decent on its own because we are going to get Glitter Dust with this guy. So being able to add 1 to the DC of Glitter Dust in the early game is going to be very helpful. But more importantly, we want this because it's a prerequisite for, well, it's not on here, but our summoning feats that we're going to pick up soon. For our curse, we're going to go with Pranked. Now, this does give us a -4 penalty to initiative, and we kind of offset that a little bit by taking the hasty racial heritage. But we also pick up really great spells like Glitter Dust and Mirror Image. I mean, Mirror Image is going to be useful throughout the entire game. Later on in the game with the Mythic, the Azata superpower Life Bonding Friendship, your party's survivability really depends on your main character staying alive. So getting Mirror Image for free as a full divine caster with, instant cast, or sorry, swift action self heals, really adds to this guy's survivability. I don't think that surviving is going to be much of an issue with this group. As a healer, of course, we're going to take cure spells. We get to learn all of our cure spells automatically here. And our first revelation is going to be nature. Now this is for role-playing purposes, but also it gives us some great spells. It gives us Bark Skin, it gives us Cave Fangs, it gives us probably the best summoning spell in the game, Creeping Doom. And we also get really great revelations from choosing the Nature Mystery. Our first spells, I'm going to go with Shield of Faith. My priority on spells is going to be this. I'm going to take like mandatory buffs. Shield of Faith is one, Bless is another. And after that, then I'm going to start picking up my summons. So I'm going to stick with these buffs here first. My deity is going to be Aristotle. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the role-playing side of things. If you want to check out the role-playing side of things, I will be posting this playthrough on YouTube, so check it out. But I'm just going to stick with mechanical things for this build video. All right, at level 2, we're going to take another level of Divine Herbalist, get those 3 important skills up first. And we also pick up Healer's Way at this level. We also get Feather Step from our Nature Mystery. At level 3, we're going to take our 4 skills there. Our feat is going to be Augment Summoning. This is going to give a bonus to Strength and Constitution for all of our summon spells, so that's going to be great. And our first revelation, you can see how strong these revelations are. Like, we get a fully leveled Animal Companion, and that's what I'm going to take at 3rd level here. And I'm going to choose Wolf. It gets a natural trip on Bite, and we're really going to be taking advantage of that with all of the synergy that we get through our teamwork feats and mythic abilities and whatnot. So I'm going to start with the Wolf. Our next spell is going to be Remove Fear. At level 4, we're going to boost our Charisma. All of our ability score increases are going to go in Charisma. We have a lot of synergy with Charisma, so we want to maximize that as much as possible. Get our skills out of the way. So I think I'm going to go with Bull Strength here. At level 5. Now this is where things are going to get a little weird because I am going to mod in my extra revelation. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to take a blank, dummy feat, erase this with Toy Box, and then add in the revelation that I'm going to take. All right, our revelation at level 5 with the extra revelation feat that I'm going to mod in here, and ignore this stuff. I had to go back and edit this in here. We're going to get Friend to Animals, and what this allows us to do is it adds all of these Summon Nature's Ally spells to our spell book. It says you must still select them, but you actually don't. You get them for free, which for a spontaneous caster is actually really amazing. They're also pretty solid all the way through. You get things like leopards, you get smilodons, you get mastodons, and they're very strong. Also, animals within 30 feet of the caster get a bonus on all saving throws equal to their charisma modifier. So all of your animal companions, I believe if you have a druid that's shapeshifted, they also get this bonus. So, charisma is our primary stat. We're going to have something like a plus, I think it's like a plus 12 charisma modifier by the end of the game. So all animals are going to be getting plus 12 to all of their saving throws. This is really strong here. At this point, I think I'm going to take Unbreakable Heart at 5th level, or around there. You're going to start seeing enemies that are going to make you, give you confusion or give you effects that make you attack your enemies, and you can negate those or suppress those effects with this spell. And our 2nd level spell is going to be Summon Monster. You could also go with Eagle's Splendor to buff your own charisma. That would be a good choice. We do pick up Glitter Dust, so buffing, and we all have Bark Skin as well from our mystery. So these are great 2nd level spells, and Mirror Image. So we really do have a lot of great 2nd level spells just from our mystery and from our curse. So I'm going to add on to that with Summon Monster 2 at level 6. Skills. And the first spell I'm going to take is Archon's Aura. That's really strong in this character. It's gives you your enemies a will save, and if they fail the save, they get a -2 penalty to attack, saving throws, and armor class. And this is really good for us because we have such high charisma that this is going to be a very high saving throw that they have to make. So we're going to start with that. There's a lot of good spells at level 3 though. At level 7, skills out of the way. We have another feat here. Our feat is going to be, just type it in, Superior Summoning. So now whenever we cast a summoning spell that would summon more than one monster, we get an additional +1 on top of that. So for all of your summoning spells, except for Summon Monster 1, actually, for all of your summoning spells, you get multiple options. If we look at level 2, you can see here that Summon Monster 2, we have the option of summoning 1 wolf or 1d3, that'd be between 1 and 3 dogs. You always have to take this, the multiple option, because then you get an additional 1 on top of that. And I think I'm going to choose, all our first level spells are kind of taken right now. I guess Remove Sickness could be helpful. Actually, we get that from our life, so it's up to you. We're not going to use it. Magic Weapon. We get another second level spell. I'm going to take Eagle's Splendor at this point. We're kind of overloaded with good second level spells here. And level 3, I'm going to take Magical Vestment. This is kind of a mandatory AC buff. Gives this to basically everybody in your party. It lasts for an hour per level, and it stacks with everything else. So that's a great buff to have. And at level 7, we also pick up that Master Healing Technique. So we can use our Lore Nature checks to take off the negative conditions. And you can see already at level 9 with no gear, this is just me doing a dry run through here with no gear whatsoever. At level 7, we've got +18 to our Lore Nature check. And that's going to get a lot better with gear, things like Heroism, buffs to our Charisma. So even at this point, we're never going to fail on the little stuff, and we're probably not even going to be failing on the big conditions either. At level 8, we're going to go Divine Herbalist, increase our Charisma, get our 3 important skills. And our first spell at 4th level, I'm going to go with Crusader's Edge. We fight so many demons. This gives you Bane against demons, evil outsiders, which includes demons. And when you score a critical hit, they also have to make a saving throw or become nauseated, which means they basically don't get to attack you. This is incredibly strong, adds a lot of damage to all of your attacks, so I'm going to prioritize that. At 9th level, this is another one of those where I'm going to be adding a dummy feat and then removing it and adding an extra revelation. All right, at level 9, our revelation is going to be Channel. We're going to take the Channel revelation, which is going to allow us to channel positive energy like a cleric, so we can heal our allies or harm undead. And we get to channel 1 plus our Charisma modifier per day. So that's really great for us because we're going to have really high Charisma. And we're going to boost this up with things like Selective Channel and Mythic Channeling so that we're going to be able to top off our party very well with this ability here. And let's see here, we get another 2nd level spell. I think at this point I might take Bear's Endurance or I might take Arrow of Law, probably Bear's Endurance just to buff up my allies. At 3rd level here, now Resist Energy, I'm going to be playing with Lan as a druid in this build. So I'm not going to be taking that. I'm going to be taking Prayer. Thanks for now. We also want to pick up Greater Magic Weapon. Actually, in fact, you probably want to prioritize that. That's such a crucial buff that you probably want to prioritize this first. This is great. Now, I didn't really quite understand how good this was because what this does is it allows you to really prioritize weapons that have awesome effects. So if you get like a +1 or a +2 sword that has, like an amazing on-attack effect, you can use this to make it a +5 weapon with the great effect. So you can, it gives you a lot more options in your equipment selection. At level 10, we're going to get our skills out of the way. Our first level 5 spell is going to be True Seeing. This allows us to negate all sorts of illusory defenses like Mirror Image, Blur, Displacement, all of those things, Greater Invisibility. You run into those things all the time, and this is a great spell for countering that. At level 11, we are going to pick up our skills. Our feat at level 11 is going to be Selective Channel. Because we took the extra revelation and picked up Channel at 9th level, we get to choose Selective Channel here. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to heal in combat without accidentally healing unfriendly targets. Our revelation here, at this point, we're getting really close to being Mythic rank 4, where we pick up Life Bonding Friendship. And to synergize with that, we're going to take Lifelink. Now, Lifelink allows you to create a bond with your party members, and if they are not at full health, it will heal them 5 points, 5 hit points, and you'll take 5 hit points of damage. So you kind of become like a hit point battery. Everybody can kind of leech off of your hit point reserve, which is great because we have swift action self heals, and we're also going to be picking up fast healing throughout the game from our Azata superpowers and just mythic abilities. At this point, I'm probably going to take Grace just because if you ever find yourself, ambushed by one of those encounters that just kind of springs on you, having a swift action that you can cast to run away without getting attacks of opportunity on you is really nice. At 3rd level, we are also going to take, I think at this point, I'm going to let other people cast Resist Energy. I'm going to take my next summoning spell, Summon Monster 3. We'll get Remove Curse next. Our next 4th level spell, I'm going to pick up my summoning, get my Summon Monster 4, gives us a bunch of wolves, and we're close to getting those dire wolves as well. Level 5, here's where we get those dire wolves. So we'll go Summon Monster 5, and now we can get the 1d3 extra planar dire wolves, and these guys are really strong. At this, really close to this point in the game, we're going to pick up a Life Bonding Friendship, where all of our summons are going to get our teamwork feats as well. So these summons are going to become really strong in just a minute here. At level 12, we're going to bump up our charisma again, get our 3 most important skills in. Our first 6th level spell, I'm going to go with the summons. I'm prioritizing the summons first. I really like this one because it gives you a ton of dire wolves. Those wolves are going to be really strong. At level 13, our feat is going to be Extend Spell. And this is primarily for our summons because summons are round per level. They only last a round per level. So slapping on an Extend Spell is always going to be beneficial for summons. Our next 4th level spell is going to be, I think at this point I might take Death Ward, Freedom of Movement. Those are great choices. Our 5th level spell, I think I'm going to go with Vine Trap here. This is an entangle that basically makes somebody paralyzed if they fail a reflex save. And again, because we have spell focus conjuration, we also have super high charisma. This is a pretty decent spell for us to cast. Our next 6th level spell, speaking of CC spells, I'm going to go with Chains of Light here. At level 14, we are going to take another level of Herbalist there, get our skills out of the way. There's not really a lot of great choices for 7th level spells because we get so many good things from our mysteries that we kind of get everything we want. We're going to get Greater Restoration from Life. We get Creeping Doom from Nature, which is a great spell. This summon monster doesn't give us anything that's really great. I don't like these summons. We get a better summon with the Friend to Animals revelation. So I think what I'm going to go here is maybe Holy Word. But for the most part, you're going to be casting spells from your mysteries. At level 15, get some more skills here. Our feat is going to be Heightened Spell, and this is mainly for things like Archon's Aura. That's the main one. I might be drawing a blank. Maybe Glitter Dust also, because we get that from our curse. Now, our Revelation at level 15, we should be able to take Combat Healer. It's on here. I'll show it to you. Combat Healer is right here. It allows us to cast any cure spell as if it were quickened, a few times per day. We have the Life Revelation. We're a level 15 Oracle. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to take this, but I guess it's bugged out because maybe we are the Divine Herbalist. I don't know. So what I'm going to take instead is Spirit Boost. When you overheal somebody with this, basically they get temporary hit points equal to the overhealing. So that will be really nice for us. Our next 5th level spell, I think at this point, I have most things. By the way, if I don't list an obviously good spell like Spell Resistance, it's because I'm going to be getting it from another source. So Ivu gets to be our Dragon Companion, gets to have like level 35 caster level, so he's going to be much better with Spell Resistance here. We're not getting Raised Dead because of Life Bonding Friendship, keeping us alive. So I think I'm just going to choose, I'm not taking Cleanse because I basically get this entire laundry list of abilities taken off of me with the Healer's Way, which is a swift action rather than a standard action. But, maybe Cleanse could be helpful as well if I run out of charges. And our next 6th level spell is going to be, I'm going to go with Banishment. And for our 7th level spell, I'm going to take Greater Bestow Curse. Some of these curses are really good. I mean, this is affected by spell resistance, and I'm not spec'd into necromancy. I'm probably never going to cast this, but if it does land, things like -8 penalty to attack rolls, saves, and ability checks, that's amazing. At level 16, bump up our charisma some more. Get our skills out of the way. Our first 8th level spell, I'm kind of torn between Frightful Aspect or Holy Aura. Frightful Aspect automatically makes everything shaken around you with no saving throw. That's very nice. And Holy Aura makes you immune to mind control effects. So up to you. I'm going to get both of them eventually. All right, at level 17, get our skills out of the way here. We are going to take Shake It Off. Now at this point in the game, we have that Azata superpower, which is called a Life Bonding Friendship. It takes all of our teamwork feats and it gives it to everybody, including our pets, our summons, all of our companions. So basically this gives everybody in the party a +4 bonus to their saving throws at all times. So pretty solid. We get another 7th level spell. Choose whatever you want here, summons. At this point, choose whatever you didn't from Holy Aura or Frightful Aspect. We also get some great spells from our mysteries. At level 18, more skills. Our first 9th level spell. So we get mass heal at 8th level, and I was told that it no longer overwrites. So if I select this at 9th level, it won't overwrite the 8th level, which is great because I do want it in both slots. So I'll take that first and probably summon monster next. At level 19, more skills. Now in the group I have planned, I've got a wolf pet, I've got summons that trip, I've got a Lan who's going to be a shapeshifter with aspect of the wolf. I've got all kinds of things that are doing tripping. So I'm going to take coordinated maneuvers to give all of those guys this teamwork feat with life bonding friendship. So because combat healer is bugged out, I'm going to go with life sense, which is going to give me basically blind sight up to 30 feet. Our next spell here, because we're invested in conjuration with spell focus, I'm going to go with Rift of Ruin. Another good choice would be your summoning spells or storm bolts or firestorm. I'm going to go with Rift of Ruin though. And I'm going to pick up Summon Monster 9 now that we have that option of getting the 1d3 Mavonic Divas. With Augment Summoning and all of our summoning investments, this is a pretty solid spell for us. Oh, we get one more. Do we really? Okay. I'm going to go with Winds of Vengeance here. And finally, at level 20, your skills out of the way. We get to choose one more spell. I'm going to go with Energy Drain as probably the better of these, or the best of these three. And we get both final revelations from our life revelation and our nature revelation. So for life, we get immunity to bleed, death, exhaustion, fatigue, nausea, negative levels, and sickened. Very strong, a lot of immunities there. And for our plant revelation, we get to turn into an animal. We get to shapeshift, basically. Now, I haven't played with this. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I'm excited to try it in the game. And that pretty much sums it up. All right, just a quick overview of the mythic rank here. Number 1, I went with second mystery life. Now you have to take this on odd levels. If you're a divine herbalist, you can't do extra mythic ability. So I took this first because I didn't want to wait until mythic rank 3 to have my spells and my revelations. So I went with that. At mythic rank 2, we went extra mythic ability, abundant casting. By the way, mythic rank 1, I went with Close to the Heavens for that ability that heals allies or harms enemies. All right, so there are a few things that are bugged here. Number 1, I didn't take Life Revelation again. This is Mythical Beast at mythic rank 3. We also chose the Azata Mythic Path. The whole build kind of revolves around choosing Azata. So Mythical Beast, and that makes our animal companion a lot stronger, so ignore that. Same thing at Mythic Rank 4. I didn't choose Abundant Casting again. This should be Mythic Channeling, which allows us to add double our Charisma modifier to channel energy. So we get some really, really strong heals with this. And Life Bonding Friendship is our first superpower. This is kind of like the keystone ability of the entire build. This allows our allies to continue fighting even when they would normally die. So if they drop below 0 hit points, they stay alive until the main character dies. So basically, everybody lives or everybody dies. There's no one person dying anymore. And they can also be healed up while they're in that state. We also get we get to pick a teamwork feat here and another teamwork feat at Mythic rank 5. And I chose Outflank at Mythic rank 4 so that my party doesn't have to choose that, and also Tandem Trip because I get to, if I take it at Mythic rank 5, I get to ignore the prerequisites, and I have a lot of people in my party that trip. Okay, Mythic rank 5, I also went with Improved Abundant Casting. Mythic rank 6, I went with Mythic Brew Potions. This allows my guy to brew potions up to level 6, so things like Potions of Heal. We went with Marvelous Endurance as our next superpower. This gives me fast healing, quite a bit of fast healing. At this point, I think we'd have, let's see, 5. We would have, what is it? Well, let's read it. See, it's going to be fast healing equal to half her mythic rank. From 4th rank on, this number is increased by 5 per mythic rank. Okay, so 5, 10, 15 plus half of this. So like 17 fast healing? That's crazy. And that's really going to help us with that lifelink damage. We're just going to be passively healing everybody all the time and then healing it back. Mythic rank 7, Greater Abundant Casting. Mythic rank 8, Extra Mythic Ability, and I went with Boundless Healing to get some more use out of my low-level healing spells and also to be able to heal from a distance. And then Mythic rank 8, we got Incredible Might, mainly so that we could share this with our party. Mythic rank 9, Ascended Summons. I know this is late in the game, but there were a lot of really good things to choose first. This allows our summons, it gives them a big bonus to their ability scores, and it also gives them, they ignore damage reduction. And then at Mythic rank 10, for the next 10 minutes or whatever the game you have, I went with Sorcerous Reflex and Favorable Magic.